Hello everyone, I'm Kaylen Rouin and I'm currently a freshman residing in Coat Hall and I'm hoping to become a resident assistant this upcoming fall. I'm majoring in marketing with a minor in international business. Something that excites me for this role as RA is just the ability to create a space and be a person that people can rely on and kind of look towards when they need help. So, whether that's finding resources for them, helping them with their schedule, just learning about their day, having someone to turn to when things are kind of a little shaky or a little rocky, or just kind of being a person that they can kind of look up to and realize that my time here at UWL is going to be good. And there are going to be rough patches, but we're all going to get through it together. So, I'm very passionate about helping people and performing serviceable acts of my community, and I think that is one of the biggest things that I'm so excited for is just to be able to create a community of my own and show that I'm here to support whoever walks through those doors and kind of create a transition from a whole different life to a life here at UWL that is so purposeful and meaningful for all of these residents. And I think it's really important as an RA to do so because it is such a big transition. And all the past RAs know that we were all freshmen at one point and we were all going through these transitions. So I think it's so important to just be a resource to kind of talk about my personal experiences and how I learned from them and like lessons I've learned and kind of just help people in that way. Like I said, I love performing serviceable acts for my community, for the people around me, for the people I love. And having an opportunity as RA would be so valuable for me because it allows me to continue a cycle of kindness and just make a space that feels welcoming, fun, and just like very freeing and safe for anyone living there. And I think it's so important to just kind of feel understood and seen in a space that you're going to be spending many of your firsts in during college. I was very nervous when I was arriving to UWL. I do not know anyone in this area, and it was a huge transition, and I was not expecting my life to be so vastly different here than it was back at home. And I think a huge difference or a huge role that played into my transition into college was my RA. And she kind of inspired me to become an RA because I saw how kind and how just her presence just lit up a room. And I want to be a person that also is able to kind of show the good in people. But back to my RA, she kind of created a space where everyone felt like themselves. And I just hear people giggling around, and it's just like really fun to kind of experience that. And then she also kind of just performed so many different small acts of kindness, whether that was messaging us saying that we're doing great and that we're ready like 2 weeks in and we're all doing awesome. She also just kind of waved to us and acknowledged our presence whenever she was out and about and saw us. And I think those two big things, among the many others that she's done, I think those were huge because it gave us a person to recognize out in UWL, and it made kind of an easier transition because you're like, oh, I feel like I don't know anyone, but then you see my RA and she's right there smiling and just being someone that, oh, I know her. So that was kind of fun. And she just was able to positively impact the lives of the residents that she was caring for. And I really respect that and I value that so much. And I hope that I'm able to provide the positivity and just outward looking that I'm able to just become someone that many residents are able to kind of relate to and see that, oh, there's a friend that I know. My visions as an RA would be also very exciting to me. Creating a space where everyone feels seen and feels like they can be themselves, and working with other RAs to build a safe and supportive environment. I think that's so important, and I'm very excited to do that just because I think it's fun to kind of create your own little family in the spot that you're going to make your home. Additionally, I also am excited to make posters and events for the hall and just getting people's input on the things that they want. I love taking feedback and listening to other people and just understanding what makes them tick and kind of working with that to allow them to also have fun and me to be able to provide them with those experiences. And then personal touch, like I said, I just want to create valued input and use that input to better my residents' experiences, create fun decorations. I feel like that was also really fun because you're able to kind of look, oh, each month I'm getting a new door decoration, and just like it kind of made more fun and whimsical environment. And then also just being able to collaborate and work with other RAs because everyone else has such a passion to help people, and I think it's so fun to see everyone work together in a way. But yeah, though whether it's creating door decorations, working with other people, I'd say the big thing is just creating a space where I'm able to help people and create a community that is able to understand each other and just kind of coexist if need be. But I think that's the most exciting thing that I'm looking forward to. I have a lot of visions for our mission statement that we have at UWL. As I mentioned, I'm most excited about becoming an RA due to having the opportunity to support other UWL students and making a space that people feel the most confident and comfortable in. My interpretation of the mission statement is to be able to create a community that embraces challenges, adapts to a new life, and allows experiences that allow for new fulfilling bonds and relationships with other students. So, my vision for the living environment is to, I think I've stressed this a lot, to make a space that everyone feels comfortable in. And I totally understand that not everyone's going to be best friends, but even just having the opportunity to feel comfortable talking to everyone and just like sharing glances of like just a common shared smile, I think that would be very helpful, and I think it would benefit anyone that's living in the community. So I have gained a lot of notes that of things that I want to do because of my RA. She's created such a great living environment that is full of life and full of kind-hearted people. So, a few things that I've noted is my RA greeted all of us on move-in day and knew our names, and I think that was so personable and I felt so very seen, especially after leaving everything that I known. And she simply just asked, "Oh, hi, Kaylen, and do you need help with anything?" And I think it was really, really special because it showed that she was going to be a constant figure in my life and someone that I could turn to whenever I needed to. And just by understanding or knowing our names from the first day, I think that kind of just showed who she was as a person. And I strive to be that constant figure in my resident's life because I know it meant a lot for me, and it kind of just helped me feel seen right off the bat. Additionally, as I've previously mentioned, my RA has made it a point to smile at us whenever we needed to. So I think being able to provide a positive aspect in my residents' life and generally showing that I care is something that I want to do, and I think that applies to the mission statement of just creating bonds with people and embracing the challenges and just showing that there is kindness despite you not being able to see it because there are struggles in college, and I do see that. Um, I want to just know that, or I just want my residents to know that they can accomplish hard things, and I'm going to support them through all of it. And I just want to see all my fellow UWL students thrive and do small things that lead to a bigger picture and lead them to feel happy and content on campus. Lastly, I plan on hosting events that help encourage each other to, or encourage the residents to know each other, especially within the first month. I understand that um, it's a huge transition, and I can't stress that enough. So, obviously, not within the first week or two, because that's still very chaotic, but just being able to kind of ask my residents, hey, would you like me to put on these events so you can kind of get to know people and continue to do that throughout the months, because one person might not, or they might think that they have something figured out, but plans change and you don't want to feel lost in the middle of it and realize you have no one to support you. So I think just having events for people to kind of turn back on and meet new people, despite it not just being in fall, I think is very important. And just being able to get their inputs on what events want to be taking place, and just having opportunities for them to learn new things and grow as people and just like improve their well-being. I think that's really important to have. Now to two different things. First of all, allowing my residents to reflect on their emotions and have someone that is able to support them throughout any emotion. And I also want them to understand all the resources UWL has and is able to offer them. So, first of all, creating an open space that is built on trust, especially when talking with RAs, is very important, because an RA is going to be there all year and they're going to see your worst and your bests. So I think being a person that they can look up to and come to talk about the reflection, talk about their emotions, is very important. And as an RA, I would check up on them, ask them about their day, and be willing to have conversations with them if they need to. And I want to be someone that they can cry to or celebrate all of their different wins with. And I think it's also important that when it is appropriate for me to also share my own experiences and the lessons that I've learned, especially from my first year at UWL. And I think that's also really important because it shows that they are not alone. Additionally, I plan on showing the resources we have at UWL to help people make decisions that are based on education and not assumptions. So I want to make sure that the expectations on our living environment are very clear and they understand that things are going to happen and the resources they have are available to them. Additionally, if there are any problems in my area, I plan on addressing them through conversations, mentioning the said behavior, and giving solutions to fix the problems. Rather than just pointing fingers and assuming things, I plan on focusing the needs of the problem and allowing the conflict to turn into an opportunity for mutual growth. I really appreciate you guys listening to my little interview or prompts, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your year.